50, and this is going to be mission 2 for Operation Persian Freedom, the beginning. So we have this briefing that's supplied to us, and it'll actually take us into, we click this video, we'll go through this video real quick and listen to it.
I'm here at Al Dhafra Air Base, just outside Abu Dhabi. For weeks now, we've watched escorts of heavy transport aircraft continuously ferrying troops, weapons and equipment. Just this morning, I watched as yet another C-5 Galaxy heavy transport landed at Al Dhafra, whilst in the distance, another circled, patiently waiting its turn to land. Even though the US build-up here in the Gulf is now estimated at well over 150,000 troops, there seems to be no end in sight to the relentless flow of weapons of war, and they may well be needed. Given Iran's continued refusal to negotiate, the US appears equally determined to see the mission through, but it won't be easy. Iran's military may be technologically inferior to the coalition's, but it is large and, in parts at least, highly trained and loyal. There is still no indication on when hostilities will begin, but one thing is clear: US forces are ready and committed to the action ahead. This is Andrew Parker for NG News, reporting from Al Dhafra.
Sweet. So that's a quick briefing. Situation kind of goes through the similar things with some additional information of some broadcast calls of Nevada and Florida by the C2 agencies on all aircraft can push to objectives, things like that. In addition to the A-10 flight that is going to be going on, there's F-18s, F-16s, F-15 Echoes, and B-1s and Strike Eagles. Yeah, basically we're doing a preemptive strike. Enemy can have MiG-29s, MiG-21s, Su-25s, and even F-5s and F-14s. The spins mainly haven't changed. We need to check in with our C2 agencies. There's also an Air Support Operations Center, call sign Whiplash, that's going to be in this scenario as well. We have the spins. So this is basically our rules of engagement and aircraft classification. We have an additional rules of engagement for our targeting, and then cast type information. Moving down past all this, we get into our actual mission nitty-gritty for our flight. So it's to destroy the SAM systems at Abu Musa Island and destroy the MiG-21s aircraft that are grounded at Abu Musa Airfield as well. And that's specifically for our flight. In addition, so that SAM system is going to be that SA-15, and we're also going to destroy the 2 MiG-21s. The SA-6 that's going to be on Sirri Island, that's going to be taken out by Gunman 1-1. So here we go. Gunman 1-1 is going to attack the SA-6, and that'll be target designated Fenway. And then you, commanding Gunman 2 flight, 2 ship, will be attacking Abu Musa designated Yankee. 3 will be taking on an island north of Sirri, I believe it might be that one, for some additional enemy that are located there. Mission specifications, so yeah, we'll fly waypoint 1, waypoint 2, waypoint 3, then we'll push to waypoint 6 in order to contact Whiplash for taking out the SA-15s and the MiG-21. Sweet. Yeah, here's our overall flight plan. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, then go to 6, Abu Musa strike, and then exit out. There's the SAMs denoted there. We got MiG-21, SA-15 to the south. That's supposedly where they're at. Here's the flight plan. In addition to that, we've got these knee boards here for this mission, which basically is just a repeat of all the information that was in the briefing. But these will be the knee boards in game, along with some threat and programs for our countermeasures. Okay, so now we're in the aircraft. So as before, we got to get the APU up and running and get the radios up and going. We're going to set all the presets on for this while we power up all our radios. Okay. And that was the night. Okay, we will want to be on channel 2 on uniform.
Gunman 1-1 to Gunman 2-1, comms check, over.
There we go. So we got our comms check in, so we're gonna go and check in with him. So read you loud and clear.
Gunman 2-1, read you Lima Charlie.
Turn on our IFF and put that to standby. Get that warmed up.
2-1, let me know when you're ready for taxi. We'll be departing as a formation.
Altitude, altitude.
Copy. Tower, Gunman 2-1, requesting startup.
Nope, did not get that in time.
You're cleared to start engines.
Okay, sweet. Clear to start engines. Starting left engine. Okay, go for light off.
Man, those B-1s are really something when they take off.
Dang.
I've always loved that plane. When I was a kid, I saw one at the A-10C at RAF Waddington, 2001, I think. Loved it ever since. You know, we actually use it as a cast platform. Can't get into tight areas like we can, but it does the job.
Okay, that one started good. Starting right engine.
Probably scared the crap out of any enemy troops if it came over low.
Load all.
Never be a match for the hog,
Go
though.
ahead and do that. Turn on this. We'll be behind those strike eagles. Go ahead and get the targeting pod on. Set the flaps for takeoff. Go ahead and flip this up because we're good there. Still waiting on the INS to finish aligning. So while we're waiting on that, we can go talk through the weapons that we have. So we have some APKWs. We got a 65 Delta and a 65 Lima. We got 3 GBU-12s. I have half a mind of changing that Lima to another Delta. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to change that Lima to a Delta. So then ground crew, rearm, should be this one here. Lima Delta. Delta and Delta. Not expecting as many, so we're going to change that as well.
Copy.
So now, since I did that, we're going to actually have to reload since we're off this load page. Actually, I don't need to because it's already over here, so disregard that. So that's the Delta, so that's going to change to a green missile. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit load Dismiss. As soon as it says that rearm repair is done.
Rearming complete.
There we go. Dismiss hit. Nav saved there, there. Attack in. I will just go ahead and steer point. So I noticed this function here. We can go nav, waypoint, anchor point, and then we do this, and then that permanently has it in your HUD too. So then we're gonna change this to bull. That landing lights on. Ground crew can be told.
Gunman 2-1 ready for taxi.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks.
Tower,
Copy.
Gunman flight ready for taxi.
Wheel chocks are now removed.
Gunman, you are
Go,
cleared to
APU
taxi.
shut
Runway
down.
13 left, follow Alpha, then turn left for Foxtrot.
Alpha then Foxtrot, Gunman 1-1.
Don't know why I defaulted pop to the first page of my thing, but I guess that is the quick start.
Okay, flight, let's roll. You're on me. Gunman 2-1, bring up the rear. We'll collect you on the way past.
Sweet. We got all these are set. One thing we didn't do, noticeable steering is set. Bismuth is now loaded with those. And we can then get targeting pod is checked and up. Throw it back into standby for takeoff. Sweet. And I mentioned as before, we have our radio frequencies here. We're going to go 5,000 on point alpha, or for point 1, and then 15,000 for the rest all the way out. And even though it says that we should ingress 10,000, I'm going to stay higher because there's known man pads in the area. Okay.
Memphis, you are cleared for takeoff, runway 13 left.
So, and because we are in a solo side, we can go ahead and speed this up because it's a little ridiculous waiting for 8 A-10s. Okay, now that we're out over here, sweet. So now we'll just suffer with the taxiing all the way right now. One thing that we can do is go ahead and set up all these to be UTM. And that's what I meant to do over on this. So then we have everything is now MGRS.
Okay, Gunman flight. Today's a real deal, and this is the first time most of you are going into harm's way. Keep calm, keep your heads. Don't make mistakes. I want to be counting all 7 of you back down in a few hours' time.
Nice and pretty.
Once
A-10.
direct waypoint 1, Angels 5. I want all countermeasures and weapons set by the time you reach waypoint 2.
Okay, so by the time we hit waypoint 2, in between 1 and 2, we will go ahead and set, or fence in fully.
Let's get out there and get the job done.
Okay, let's finish the rest of our checks. Everything's set there. We've got flaps are set. One last thing would be our landing lights need to be set prior to takeoff. So let's do this just a little bit. Speed this up just a little bit because this is kind of long and boring. But so kind of my reasoning, we can talk about it now, that I didn't want to take that Lima is the Lima requires you to be a liaison. And one, I want to be able to shoot that SA-15. follow it up with being able to take a Maverick shot inbound. So I'm going to fire at the SA-15. Hopefully it's not active. That means I can get away with one shot at it. If it is active, then I'll need another Maverick and possibly climb up over its threat ring, which we can actually talk about that real quick. So I know this tutorial also has its own threat information for it, but SA-15 altitude 26,000, you could probably get up to 22, 23,000 and be able to throw a GBU-12 at it, and it won't be able to take it out there. Here's 26,000 again, so it kind of just depends, but we'll go ahead and play that safe. So we got that second Maverick. If we kill the SA-15 after the first Maverick at it, then what we'll do is then we'll go ahead and use the Maverick plus a GBU-12 drop on the MiG-21s, killing both of them in one go. That'll make it nice and quick. So what we'll look at doing is staying south of the island until we pass through and do the GBU-12 drop. We'll go to the north side of the island. Hopefully if there's any more taskings, we can do just one pass from north to south in order to take that out without having to overfly the island a third or fourth time, or trying to skirt around the island because of all the man pads and stuff in the area. We will try to stay above 12,000. I'm going to try to stay 15,000 to be safe. We'll see if there's any requirements for gun runs on this as well. I'm going to go ahead and brighten these up because as the sun's starting to get up airborne, and landing light is set, we are ready for takeoff. We're doing a just interval rolling takeoff for all the aircraft here. So I'm just going to take this thing wide. So my number 2, who's oddly taking off before me, doesn't bunch up. It looks like he's starting his roll. We'll go ahead and press. Airspeed's alive, down low, and airspeed's active. Nose wheel steering's off, we're above 70. Looking for about that 140 in order to start our rotate. Oops, accidentally keep hitting the 12. There. 140, rotate. That's a positive rate, gear up, flaps up. Starting that climb out. Go ahead and put us into path mode. We'll press on out here. First altitude's 5,000. Sweet. We'll wait till we turn. I might actually do this. I might cut inside the turn here. Climb a little bit faster than these guys. And go ahead and F10, F1, close.
Wing, close formation. Can't be going close.
Passing him by, or those guys by a few hundred feet. And then what I'm going to do, I should have done that on the ground, is flip this to that, and now we got our first waypoint out there, 5,000 feet, headed out. Set that, set it, forget it. I don't know where my number 2 is. We'll go ahead, once we figure out who he is and where he is, we'll go ahead and set him. I think he's that one. So it'll take him a second or two to get to me. Sweet. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything that we need to do right now besides get him formed up. But right now, I'm just going to press forward. He can catch up with me eventually. We should be going 230 coming out here. So Going ahead and flip this switch to out heading mode. Even though we're in path, we're going to hold that path until we get about 100 feet. Then I'm going to kick it off, trim out, level off, because the trim was set to where we were climbing a lot more. And we're just going to keep that 5,000 feet and accelerate forward. What that will then allow us to do is once we hit that waypoint 1 to climb to 15,000, we can go ahead and do a zoom climb and then capture about 170, 160 for the climb. Actually, probably 180 for the climb out. 180 will give us a more of a distance climb, keeping the speed up. So right now, with this in waypoint or in flight plan mode, because the flight plan is set in auto, it'll automatically sequence to the next waypoint, which will be nice for the time being. Once we get into the target area, I'll probably switch to that knob to mission in order to be able to get in order to be able to not auto sequence through points when it comes to the actual flight plan. But we'll go back to offset because that's my favorite page to stay on default for the CDU. And we can go ahead and get this loaded up. Hit our targeting pod. We can do a quick flare check. See what we're seeing. Seeing what the best view is right now. Maybe black hot might be better for now. And then we'll just go ahead and throw that into bore sight mode for the time being. You can see a nice A-10 there. So we can try to see if we can do some functionality with this. Oh, there's a rate and point track. Haha. We got that captured right now. Where this A-10 right there. We're just gonna be passing past. Sweet. So air-to-air function works. We'll go ahead and hit full foresight. Yep, there we go. Bring it back up to the HUD. We're in travel mode right now, so we're traveling. So I'm gonna put it back to nav. There's that A-10. We're just gonna be flying past, blitzing past him. My number 2 is way back there. We are still 1.5 until.
Gunman 2-1. What's your status?
Sweet. Forgot. Oh, there we go.
Gunman 1-1. Gunman 2 all present and correct.
Zoom climb.
Gunman 3-1. Status. Gunman 3. Good to go. Gunman 5 approaching waypoint 2, Angels 15. Switch VHF AM to overlord.
Sweet. So there's 2 different ways to change. So I need to change that front radio. So I can hit 2 and then hit the see where it says COM 1. Boom. And that changed that to VHF 2, and then I can hit spacebar. So we are checked in.
Frag picture is clean.
Gunman 1-1. Copy overload.
Okay, now that we're in between waypoint 1 and 2, we're going to go ahead and fence in. So first things first, lights will be going to the off position. So if we look outside, that means I'm using that pinky switch in order to turn off the lights. See, all the lights are off.
Okay, your last flight.
We're gonna go semi on that. Laser on. Mavericks are going on.
Yeah, the nav systems on this aircraft are something else. And this airplane is a hell of a weapons delivery platform as well. It's amazing the difference. You've got to be some pretty
And we got 3,000 until level off. And 2 is catching up. We got Maverick starting to line. And then now I'm going to do one quick flare test just to make sure we're good. When I'm flying with a group of people, we'll go ahead and do that. But there's our one flare test, so we are good flare-wise. Countermeasure systems are functional.
Christ, Mono, I really do. I don't miss that one bit. It's amazing we used to hit anything.
Sweet. I'm going to go ahead and change to
Anything you looked at,
altitude and heading mode.
I for one like
Okay, let's look at what we see on the RWR. So we can see a 6, a snowdrift active. Let's go ahead and hit separate here. So separate, we can see that there's some F-15s, F-16s out here. That snowdrift looks like, so put that back there. There's a snowdrift, there's a search radar and an SA-6. These 15s with the chevron and the 16s with the chevron, those are showing that they are aircraft, and this is new, and so that's showing that it's a, or that's a 49, so that's going to be a ship of some sort, probably friendly, since it's directly off to our right. Okay, we are at our altitude, so level off now. 15,000, and set that. And let's go ahead and bump back the power to about 90%. There we go. And we're good to go there. Let's go ahead and zoom this out. We can kind of see some of our flight plan. And one problem is we should not all be at 15,000, because we're going to have friendlies that are going to be really close into us. But sweet. So that's set. We got new target SA-6. I'm going to go ahead and change this to primary threats to show you guys that it only takes the top primary threats that are within targeting range. So obviously that's going to be our friendly fighters that it's detecting out there right now. So this is showing that the highest threat is this SA, or is this not SA-15, an actual F-15. That's roughly over here, and that's probably those guys right there. I'm going to turn this back off because I want to see, I don't really care about those primary threats. I want to know what's out there SAM-wise as well. Sweet. Let's zoom back in here. We can see who is who in the Magoo. Try to figure out where everyone's at, so we're not going to run into anybody. I'm actually going to take us up to 15 or 16,000 just because I don't like the fact that we have AI aircraft that are not my wingman sitting at the same altitude as us, and we're all like flying in, and I don't really want to worry about it. We'll just go up to 15.6. There we go. That gets us altitude separated, and then I can just press. I can just set my speed and forget about it. Don't really have to think about it then. Sweet. If I remember right, there are some... Yeah, I can ask about threats in the AL.
Lead, can we review the threats we're facing again? Copy 2-1. Family is protected by an SA-6 SAM system. My flight will deal with this. Gunman 2 and 3, you will bypass it on the way to your targets. Dave, you still think you're crazy going head on with an SA-6 without proper CAD?
That's one of my pet peeves with some of these. They call it SEAD. It should be SEED.
2-1, your target is protected by an SA-15. This is a very dangerous system if you get close to it. Good news is very limited in range.
There's a boat out there.
Gunman is about the same as that of a Maverick, so I would advise a standoff attack. The limited missile range also means a lower engagement ceiling. We believe it's somewhere in the Angel's 20 to 25 range. You might be able to go in high and drop a TV on it as well. Considering duck though if you get it wrong. I would also expect man pads in the area as well. Remember, these are limited to
There we go.
If you must get low and keep dumping flares, I recommend you set a CMS program to do this for you.
Actually, I wonder,
2-1 copy.
do we have a preemptive flare? Let's see here. I've never really fully thought about this, but maybe should see what they recommend. If we have a preemptive flare one, we want long interval. One flare. Cycle 20? Interesting. Let's see here. I'm gonna do a little quick research here. And let's see here. I think M might be the one we want, because it'll be one flare, 1 second for 20 seconds. Or for 20 cycle, I believe. If I'm reading that correctly. So, if we then do CMS left long. Oop. That should not have done that. Okay, let's just do this. It dumped a shit ton of flares. Although, we're in semis, so it will change the program on us. But that might be our preemptive flare pattern. Preemptive, postemptive flare pattern. Oh, we are not going the right path right now. There's waypoint 4. One thing that I wish Ground Pounder would do would be to set the data links fully correctly for these aircraft. I don't know if it's just, yeah, I have no idea. Sweet. So we'll speed this up a little bit to get to waypoint 4 a little bit quicker. I'm not gonna zoom it up too much because I'm trying to make sure we don't get any audio stuff. Sweet. So make sure we're on uniform 2. We're gonna hit waypoint 4 and then go on to waypoint 5 and waypoint 6. I'm just gonna go ahead and put waypoint 6.
Standing by. Go ahead, 1-1. We're approaching waypoint 4. I'm taking my flight down to sea level. Proceed on your flight plans to the targets as fragged. Clear your track through whiplash before proceeding. Wing, open formation. Copied. Copy, open formation.
Nevada.
There we go. Now, set that. They're calling Nevada, so 2 minutes until launch, I believe. What's that called? Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So my game plan for this target area. So Abu Musa is going to be our main target area. We're coming in from this direction here. So what we're going to do is once we get in between waypoint 6 and IP, I'm going to go ahead and have 2 hold. I don't want them going in. I get shot down while I do my Maverick strikes on the SA-15. We'll rig down there. So we got about 5 minutes until waypoint 6. We can go ahead and...
This is Overlord, Florida. Say again, Florida. All flights proceed as fragged. Picture remains clean.
Sweet. Okay. We're going to go ahead and change to mission. And cycle to waypoint 6. We can go ahead and start searching. So we got the runway there. That looks like some APCs. That looks like our SA-15. Let's see here. Ooh, it's not that clear. Here's like the SA-15, maybe a soldier near. So let's go ahead, have combat set up. We're gonna have Mavs. Go ahead and set this Maverick. We're gonna leave it bore-sided for now. Although to be honest, what I should do is...
Whiplash Command 1-1 inbound on Fenway.
We're going to go ahead and sight it to that. So I set my soy over to there. It's got to be the SA-15. Okay. We're still getting that ship pinging us right now. No SA-15 indications. We just have...
Command 1 defending.
Let's see here. See anything? Oh, there it is. We got the missile launch right there. Hopefully they can defeat that. Okay, we got whiplash on here. I got preset 1 in currently. We do have some cloud cover right now, so it's going to be hard to see. Hopefully, by the time we get to the IP, it's clear. So in between ingress and IP, that's where I'll get till 2 to hold. See if this is up yet. Nope, not yet. So once we get within a few miles of waypoint 6, we can go ahead and set the, or talk to whiplash. Sorry if I'm sticking zoomed in a little bit. Sweet. Contact whiplash.
Whiplash, this is Gunman 2-1 inbound on Yankee.
Copy Gunman 2-1, you are cleared to continue unplanned strike. We have a UAV monitoring the target and the door is still in this brief location. Those Migs also have support vehicles around them and looks like they're still out of play.
Warning, autopilot.
However, we have eyes on 2 trip-mounted Zeus's, one on the east of the island and a second just north of the runway center.
Copy Whiplash, 2 AAA threats eastern center of the island.
Contact us once your attack is completed. Our JTAC may have something more for you.
Actually, if the SA-15 is going to stay down, we might just go in one sweep attack. I'm going to keep him south of the island because I'm going to try to do one sweep. Since they called the SA-15 is not active.
That's odd. The SA-15 doesn't appear to be active. Wait at hold position. Copy, holding position.
Go ahead and set that over to there, so then all I have to do is do a long down press and we can recycle everything to steer point. Split the 2. Go. Got lock. And rifle.
SAM network is offline. Orlando begins sweep.
This is Gunman.
Rifle.
Ricky came up dry on in here. 3-2 has developed an aircraft issue, so we're RTB.
Targeting pod is soy. Point track. We got 17 seconds till drop. Pickle. Blazing.
Eastern sector sounds are down. Seattle, begin your sweep.
Whiplash, this is Condor 3. Go ahead, Condor 3.
Dang it.
Well, Hip is on the move again. Eastern LZ heading back to sea. Captain Condor 3, thanks for the update.
We'll put another GB12 on that. For
Gunman
that other
2-1,
Mig.
did you copy Condor 3's last?
Solid copy, Whiplash.
Iranians have a cargo ship offshore. They're ferrying supplies into the airfield as we speak. Ignore them for now, Gunman 2-1. We'll deal with them soon enough.
Shoot. Nope. I'm not diving down.
Copy.
We'll press out just a little bit because I don't want to get within. Let's go ahead and do a preemptive. Let's double check this. Yeah, that's the preemptive that I want. Okay. Go ahead and turn inbound. Spending way too much time over the target. Pickle. Okay, there's that. See, what's crappy is it's going to consider that not destroyed until I do that to it, even though... There we go. Now, other... that complete.
Orlando, you are
Whiplash, Gunman 2-1, attack complete.
Captain Gunman 2-1, stand by for BDA. Gunman 2-1, target's destroyed.
Warning,
You need the tools
autopilot.
or fish bed to be a threat anymore.
Okay. It's annoying that the Maverick went after the other targets, but oh well.
Gunman 2-1, we've been observing the Iranians are constructing need to our side on the airfield. What do you say to putting it out of action?
Yep, I'm game for that.
Copy, Whiplash. I say let's bring the pain.
Okay then, Gunman 2-1, stand by for further instructions.
It might be there. It looks like. Okay, there we go. into a little bit tighter pattern over here.
Strikers will deal with them.
Whiplash Striker 1-1 has target acquired. Striker 1-1, you are cleared to engage. Copy Whiplash Striker 1-1, Rifle 2. Gunman 2-1, before we get to the radar, I need you to pull back to the south of the island, Angels 12.
I'm gonna stay at 15.
You're going to see some fireworks to the northeast of the island. The Navy is taking care of that ship.
That is basically right underneath us right now. Let's see if I can't get a look at it. I don't want to move my pod because I think that's the EW site. So I slowed down to 160 knots in order to keep a tighter orbit. Come on. Where's that? So we just had a missile launch, but it was from friendly area, it appeared. So we will see. Come on. Come on. I want it to hit so I can see it. Here, what I'll do real quick, mark point there. Ooh, there we go. There was the explosion. Come on. Is there anything for me to do right now? Gee.
Whoa, we got big secondaries on that ship.
There we go.
To impact full of ammo.
Gunman 2-1, let's deal with that radar and then get you out of there. I'm going to pass you off to Condor 3. They will talk you onto the target.
I think this is it, because it's like...
Condor is on VHF FM 30.7. Make contact and engage the target. Whiplash out.
Five, sweet. Contact Condor.
Gunman 2-1 to Condor 3. We're ready to engage that radar site. Copy Gunman 2-1. The target is a Russian-built B-19 radar. It's at the end of a dead track and the only dish on the island. Do you need a telecom to locate?
Nope, I already have it. If it's the only dish on the island.
Negative, Condor. I have tally. Okay, Gunman 2-1. Type 3 want you to circle the island and use the northern tip as your IP. Attack heading 179. Recommend standoff attack with guns or Maverick. Those Zeus are located 5,000 feet west and 2,500 feet southeast.
So he said guns or Maverick. I don't have another Maverick. So.
You are cleared hot.
Cool. Two guns. So we're going to do kind of a standoff attack here. We're going to go ahead and zoom in with the targeting pod. So we want it to be about that zoom. We're coming in on our heading here. Now we're going to do about a 35-degree dive down. Going to way up. Capture this. There we go. Come. Flares.
Condor 3, attack complete. Good work, Gunman 2-1. Your work here is done. Handing you back to Whiplash.
Climbing up. Getting out of there. Still have those flares going. Gonna do one more just in case. Sweet. And then cycle back.
Whiplash, Gunman 2-1 is RTB at this time.
Copy Gunman 2-1. Good work. You are clear to depart. Switch back to Overlord.
Boom, there's some secondaries. F10. 6.
Overlord, Gunman 2-1 egressing Yankee and heading home.
Overlord copies Gunman 2-1.
Waiting close formation. Can't be going close.
And we're just going to maintain 13,000 and press out. Okay. Let's see here. Let's try to see if we can find Wingman. And he is behind us. Still trying to catch up. Go ahead and see about the rest of the A-10s. The rest of the A-10s are up over there. They're headed inbound. So, I'm going to go ahead and speed this up so then it doesn't take us long. Because yeah, we got about 10 minutes. Don't think there's any like additional things. Here we go. We're gonna talk, I guess, on
Gunman 1-1, Gunman 2-1, report status. Gunman 2-1 is ITB at this time. All primary targets destroyed, and we also bagged a new radar site before it went active. Outstanding work, Gunman 2-1.
there we go.
Fuel is good. I've plenty for the journey back.
Yeah, we actually have morale fuel.
P21, get yourself back to El Defra.
Doing full power.
Gunman 1-1 out. Copy.
There we go. Makes this just a little bit faster. I thought he said see you on the ground. He's already gonna be talking to me again?
Gunman 2-1, Dark Star is tracking a pair of bandits attempting to slip across the streets.
Oh.
Patrol is moving to intercept. This shouldn't pose a threat here, but be prepared to react if the situation changes. Switch to monitor Dark Star on 141.8. Copy overload, switching to Dark Star.
Cold Dark Star, Bandit Bra 020 for 90. Angels 22. Hot.
Wonder. Ow. Sorry, I keep bumping my mic. Okay. We're almost to waypoint 12. I'm gonna go waypoint 13. There we go. Sweet. Let's just. There we go. Tighten this up a bit. Yep, they're still there. I'm not too worried about it. And tell him RTB.
Copy, I am RTB.
Okay, so we got 120, or sorry, 228. Right for the runway here. Let's go CDU. We'll go function to nav. Or actually, I'll just.
Dark Star, bandit bra 0 to 0 for 30. Angels 22. Hot.
Let's just look at this. I believe. Oh no, sorry. 1331. So 31. Go. So then, yeah, that looks a little bit better. Let's go ahead and change this to channel 1, and we can go ahead and request landing.
Tower Gunman 2-1 requesting permission to land.
And now that we're here, we can go ahead and put this to manual.
Gunman 2-1.
To
You're cleared for
safe.
landing, runway 31 right.
So 31 right, that's the opposite direction for me. And put this on real quick, do a quick check. Runway elevation, we got 52 feet, so we need to be at 1,600 feet. At 1,600 feet, we're currently 369, nice. On our speed. I'm just keeping the speed up, so I'm traveling further. And yeah, the faster you get, the more trim you need, and right now we need some rudder trim. As soon as we get down to now, power is back. Starting our level off. Boom, 1,600 feet. Boom, level off. We got good spacing. Resetting. Gonna get halfway. Oop. Got a little low there. Halfway down the field, we're now gonna put out the speed brakes. Try to slow up. And 200, gear down. Low 185, all the flaps down. Start trimming up, trim, 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 trim. And burning. We'll check that we don't have anything here. Sweet, nothing. Bird descent come in. Keep it coming, keep it coming, keep dragging it down. Lightest of overshoot.
Altitude, altitude.
Still good though. Still need to come down just a little bit more for that 3 degree. And I'm just going to go ahead and get off here because I can. So that is mission complete. We'll get off the runway here and I'll go ahead and exit out. Sweet. And cool. Just going to go ahead and exit out here. Now what we'll do is we'll look at the tally of the scores. We got a result of a 100. Obviously we had 2 air defenses killed and 2 vehicles killed. So that would be the 2 airplanes and then the 2 A-15 and the EW site. Now we can go through a real quick TAC view of this. Pretty uneventful getting out there. Waiting behind everything. Take off out there. Of what's going on. So that's all the aircraft that took off in front of us. The B-1s, the F-15s, AWACS. There's our entire huge formation. I kept them tight with me. And this is where I accidentally veered off for a little bit. The wrong thing, hit the point. There's the SA-6. Do what Gunman 1-1 does and 3 does. Presses in. Down. I saw a shot come. Cool. Now we go back to us. I'm over here. At this point, I launch my MAVs. MAV does not destroy the target, but there's that. There's still that MiG-21 down there. Ah, there's the helicopter that took off. Didn't catch that. That's my first reattempt. I came in way too tight. Should have waited a little bit. There's a good GB-12 drop now. Boom, that took out the target. And then we set up an orbit. There's that boat that ended up coming in there. For them to hit. Getting struck pretty quickly. And then I had to wait for them to call out the target to me, switch me over freaks. And then that's when turned in. And then gun run. There, took it out. Outside the man pads, but still making sure we were good on flares. Since I went down below 12,000. And then RTB. Go ahead and give a like if you like the mission. If you have comments or questions, go ahead and just comment the video. See you guys next time.